Hey, this is Life with Sean Renee here, back with another video. Like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. This video is about a young lady worked at a job, and, Mother Nature hit her. You know what I'm saying? Like, the menstrual cycle gods came to bother her, if that makes sense. It's like I've had the same problem where I've gotten really, really, really pain, bad menstrual pain, and like it just be so bad. Like, men don't know what we go through, and when we don't feel good, we have to go to work. So, and it's hard to like be at work and be on your cycle, especially when like it just hurts really bad. And then your job is like not, I understand they got to do their job and they got to like let you go. But like if it's a medical thing and she got a doctor's note, I don't see reason why it has to be to that. But this is my opinion. Just my opinion. It's not towards the story, but it's just like my opinion on when you have your cycle or you don't feel good. Like your job should be at least, if you're the person that doesn't call out a lot, like they should be at least a little bit like empathetic. Like, okay, this girl doesn't feel good, let's let her be. There should be rules in place. If like you're sick more than 3 days, then of course you need a doctor's note, but every job is different. You know what I'm saying? So she did her 3 hours before to call out. So she was good on that. She followed directions and the rules or whatever. But let's watch the video. And if you had something like that happen to you, you comment below. So let's watch the video and see what she says and what occurred.
I just purposely got fired from my job. Sort of. Kind of. I'll explain. So I was at work a couple of days ago. And, before I had went in, the day before I went in, I was scheduled, but I called out 3 hours in advance. I woke up, I didn't feel good. It's been 5 days of me having cramps with no period. Mind you, I'm in a relationship with a woman, so, obviously things aren't going good, and I don't feel good. So, the first day of what was supposed to be my period, I didn't feel good, and I called the restaurant, Applebee's, that I worked at up until today, to tell them, like, hey, I can't come in, I don't feel good, I have things going on. Now, naturally, obviously, most managers are going to respond with, you need to find coverage for your shift so the day can keep going. Makes sense, duh. Only problem is as soon as I called, I could have been a customer. As soon as I called, the manager picked up with instant attitude. So I knew that something was wrong. And at this point, I don't give a fuck about anything. So I'm dropping names and locations because fuck this restaurant for real. Anyways, so I'm on the phone with the manager. Her name's Nicole, and I'm talking to her, and I'm saying, hey, I don't feel good, blah, 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 I can't come in. So, like I said, she's like, you need to find coverage and get back to me. So I'm like, okay. She had attitude, but I didn't really care the first call. Second call rolls around because about an hour goes by of me looking for coverage to the point where, Applebee's has this whole, this app called Shift One, probably other people use too, and you can post to every single restaurant in the entirety of Applebee's fucking history, okay? Now there's a section that says all restaurants and my restaurant, and I'm not well versed in this app. I literally only been hired at Applebee's for 2 months, so I don't use this app often. So I'm trying to reach out to this manager. We also have another app called StaffLink that we use to text each other and look at schedules and stuff. So I'm on that app trying to text her because I called the second time. And when I called the second time, I told her, I was like, hey, I don't feel good. I'm looking for coverage. I posted on Shift One and everything, and nobody's answering me. I'm telling you, I can't come in. So she's completely notably aggravated at this point, and now she's just basically 10 times worse with the attitude. And she goes on to say, basically, I'm a woman, I know how it works, and you either need to find coverage, get a doctor's note, or you need to figure yourself out and come in. So now I'm a little aggravated because, yeah, you got a vagina, congratulations, but everybody works differently. So you can say, I'm a woman, I know how it works, but at the end of the day, you don't know how I work. So obviously I'm already notably upset. So I'm just letting it go, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm trying to look for coverage, and I'm telling you that. And I told her, I was like, I don't have health insurance. I can't go get a doctor's note. I can't. If I had health insurance, I would have zoomed to the doctors and then called, honestly. Anyways, I then go back on the StaffLink app, and I'm like, okay, I called her twice, still looking for coverage. Another hour goes by the way, because like I said, I called like hours in advance to call out, like you're supposed to do. So I'm looking, and that's another thing. When you call out hours in advance, I know every place is different, but most places, when you call out hours in advance because you're calling out, you don't usually end up looking for your own coverage because you give them the hours to look for someone else. That's kind of, it's usually like a last minute, oh, I'm calling out, okay, you gotta go find somebody. They don't give a fuck. And I would know. I know every business is different, but I've been working since I was 13 and I'm 23. That is 10 years of being in the restaurant fucking business and industry and having to deal with all different types of policies and stuff. And I've never seen somebody call out 3-4 hours in advance and still get told to look for their own coverage and figure it out. But anyways, I text her off the StaffLink app because she's not really giving me much to go by based off the phone calls, and honestly I don't want to talk to her on the phone anymore because she has so much attitude that I'm getting aggravated, and I'm just like trying to be civil and be nice about things. So I text her and I'm like, hey, I'm laying in bed, I'm crying, I don't feel good, I cannot come in, I'm telling you I'm looking for coverage. And guess what happens? She doesn't answer any of my texts. So what do? I'm trying to get a hold of you. So I go back on our Shift 1 app, and I'm like, you know what? I just realized people on my Shift 1 app are constantly talking to other people and making posts and reaching out to other people. So why don't I just make a post reaching out to her, so that way she has no choice but to see it because she's tagged in it. She's going to instantly get the notification, and it's Shift 1, and I know that. They're always on that. So I'm like, she's definitely going to see it. Preface, I am autistic as fuck, so I say things very literally and very bluntly. Anyways. So I text on Shift 1 and I say something along the lines of, hello, Nicole, I understand you're a woman too, but I have things that I'm going through and I'm not able to go to a doctor due to health insurance, and I'm not able to come in because I will not be able to perform my best today. And that is like almost word for word what I said. So, because I'm thinking, oh, well, now she's gonna see it, I didn't say anything crazy, like, things should be okay. No. I didn't think anything of it. I put my foot down and I said, I'm not coming in. I did not come in. And I know that left the bartender by herself, and I feel really bad because I freaking love that girl. She's an amazing person. She did not deserve to have to run the restaurant all morning by herself. But that's also another thing is, as the manager, if I can't find coverage, it is then your job to find that coverage for me. Or you take on that job yourself. So if you could not do that and you left her alone and tried to make me feel guilty about it, honey, you're not doing your job. All right, so we skip like maybe a day or two. I can't exactly remember. And I have another work day. I go to work. It's been 2 days. I go into work. I'm feeling a little bit better, like a lot better compared to the first day. So I'm like, let me go in, let me do my thing, get it done. Immediately, head manager, Lisa, tiny little rat-looking bitch, comes out and is like, I need to talk to you. So I'm like, I already had a feeling, blah, blah, blah. All right, let's have a conversation. Immediately, as soon as I get in that office, she turns to me, she shuts that door, she gets really close to my fucking face and goes, do you think that little petty keyboard warrior stunt you pulled the other day was okay? I don't care how old you are, and I don't care that you just learned this new fucking lingo that we invented like 5 years ago, ma'am. Get it out of your fucking vocabulary and don't speak to me like that ever again. So, I'm already aggravated, and I'm like, okay, yeah, keep going. She's like, yeah, you think that's okay? That was really disrespectful. My bosses and their bosses saw it. So now I'm already like, you're not mad at what she said to me and what actually happened. You're mad because your bosses knew what she said to me because I posted it. But instead of correcting what she said and how she handled things, I need to be corrected because I made a post about it. So now I'm like, all right, well, I just want to get to work. I got to do my thing. So she sends me to go do my work and blah, blah, blah. The day goes on. I'm scheduled to 2:45. And I know restaurants, you're not always there to the exact time you're scheduled. I understand because it's a fucking restaurant and you have tables, you have stuff to do. I'm scheduled to 2:45. It's 2:30. I have one table and they're about to leave. And the restaurant is slow. We have 3 people serving. We have the bartender, me, and another person. So now I'm just like, I don't think I'm really needed. I'm supposed to be leaving, blah, blah, blah. I go up to the manager, Lisa, and I say, hey, like, my car broke down and I was using my dad's car to get to work. And he also has a job. So now I'm like, fuck. I didn't say everything about the whole day, but she was giving me like little issues all day because she was definitely mad at me. So now I'm aggravated, and I don't usually act like this at jobs, but I'm like on the verge of fucking tears because, like, dude, I gotta go home. And you're telling me I can't go home. And I have one table. So now I'm like, damn, like, what the fuck am I gonna do? So I, like, maybe like 30 minutes and 40 minutes go by, and I'm like, okay, well, let me go talk to her. I go up to her and I'm like, hey, I need to like figure out what's going on because I can't stay too long at my dad's car, but let me know. She immediately rolls her eyes again at me and goes, just leave. So now I'm like, great, she's fucking mad at me. So before I leave, she's like, we need to have a talk again. She goes to have this talk with me, decides to point out my socks because they're gray and not black. I tell her, like, hey, my stuff's in the laundry. And then she thinks it's okay to be like, well, that's not my issue, you need to figure it out. People do their own laundry. Okay. Then she thinks it's fun to say, oh, and that petty keyboard warrior stunt you think you pulled? I don't know why you needed to bring up your insurance. Nobody cares about your health insurance. You need to go to a walk-in.
Clearly, this manager does not like you. That is the reason why she treated you the way she did. Huh? I know for sure that, I don't know for sure, but I feel like when you don't come in for a shift, they find reasons to get rid of you. And they are supposed to fill in. That's why they don't want you to call out. They don't want to be the ones having to do your shift, even though that's what they're supposed to do. You know what I mean? I've done a lot of reaction videos to people that work in the industry of restaurants, and they say that usually the manager or the person on duty is the one that's supposed to take care of your shift if somebody can't do it. So, I don't know. I have no idea. I hope you find a better job that appreciates you. All right, this is Life with Sean Renee, and I'm out. Bye.